All right, what's up out there? So, all of my fellow gold diggers, this is your girl Rita, also known as the self proclaimed gold digger. If this is your first time to my channel, welcome. I am so glad to have you. But if you are a fellow gold digger, welcome back. I love and I appreciate each and every one of you. And tonight it is time for Tipsy Tuesday, and we are going to be talking about May Madness. Yes, the madness that has been associated with May when it comes to all the things that are happening. There is prom, there's graduations, there is Memorial Day coming up with the cookouts and everything, and we just celebrated Mother's Day as well. Happy Mother's Day to all the wonderful moms out there. So we're going to be getting into it because May has definitely taken a toll on my budget. So I don't know if it's affecting yours, but it's definitely affecting mine. So it has been a very disrespectful month. But before we get into it, y'all know I have to do my quick social media checks to make sure we are good on all ends. And then we are going to jump into some of the tips that I have for you guys. I hope your week is going well and that nothing too crazy has occurred or anything like that. Let's see. All right, we are good there. I'm going to check one other place. And also, as I'm checking, if May has been an interesting month for you, if May has been causing some chaos, y'all please let me know in the chat, just between all the things that are going on in May. Let me know if it's taking a toll on your budget as well. All right, we are good there. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. If you are new to Tipsy Tuesday, basically what we do is on Tuesday nights at 10 p.m., I share some tips as we take some sips. Now, what you're sipping on, that is up to you, okay? No judgment here. I'm just sipping on some water just because I'm trying to do a little bit better and I haven't really gotten my water in for today, all right? So every Tuesday night, 10 p.m., make sure you tune in. Now, I do have a couple of church announcements for y'all, all right? So y'all know I am doing my 21-day money affirmation challenge. I hope y'all have been finding that helpful to you. So every morning at 8:30 a.m., I come on live with a new money affirmation. So please, please, please be sure to join me. And then we are in the second week of our money affirmation. So this will be going on until May 21st. So in the second week, so I'm going to do another live video recapping the second week. We'll do that on this Thursday, and it's probably going to be at 8 p.m. Thursday. I'll go live and recap the week for our money affirmations. All right, but that's pretty much all the church announcements I have. We are going to go ahead and get into it. All right, so as I said in the beginning, May has been a busy month. Very, very busy. I kind of underestimated all the things that were going on in May. And it just seems like I have something going on every doggone weekend, from either graduation to like Mother's Day, graduation parties, prom, Memorial Day is coming up as well. And then I have some other events like sprinkled in as well. It's just a busy month. It's a very good month, but it's definitely busy between the different celebrations that I am going to be attending for May. And my baby is also graduating, so I'm really, really excited about that. So there's just a lot going on. So if May has taken a toll on your finances, then I am going to be sharing some tips with you to help you in the month strong, as well as help you recover if you've had some hits to your finances or hits to your wallet during May. I'm also going to share some stuff for that as well. But first, let's see, how are we going to be able to handle the rest of May and its mayhem that is coming with it. And hopefully it's all good mayhem, but we don't want it to negatively disrupt us or affect our finances. Okay, so the first thing that I have, so we need to make a rest of May budget. So you need to start making a budget. There are, what is it? We're almost halfway through May. So still 18 more days left in May. So you need to make a budget for the rest of May. All right. Don't worry about trying to fix it in June, July, August. We're gonna try and start right now. Okay. We're just trying to get through the rest of this very, very hectic and very busy month. So I want you to take some time out, sit down, write down everything that's coming up, and not just the big events, whether it's a graduation or a graduation party or a birthday party, the cookout, all that kind of stuff. Write that out too, but also make sure you're also writing out like gas to the groceries that you might need to buy because you might have to bring something to the cookout. So add that to your list as well. And then any graduation gifts you might have to bring to the different various parties that you might be attending. All right. So go ahead, make a list of what is coming up for the rest of May so that you can start planning accordingly. All right. So at this point, like for me, I'm not expecting a miracle. I am just like in survival mode, trying to get through the month. All right. So this is where we are I'm going to call it our budget triage. Like our budget is in critical condition right now. And we just have to triage it to try and make sure we get it back healthy again. All right. So look at what you got coming up for the rest of the month. Start going ahead and budgeting for that. All right. Now, the second thing I want you to do, once you get this list together and everything, I want you to separate the things that you absolutely have to do and the things that you really ain't got to do, okay? So sometimes we be guilt tripping ourselves trying to go to all the different events and do all the different things, all right? So figure out what is a must do, like you absolutely have to do this, all right? Versus something where it's like, it'll be nice to do, but you ain't got to do it or you don't have to go, okay? Because please keep in mind, you're probably getting invites to a lot of different things, a lot of different celebrations, but that don't mean you got to go to everything. All right. You don't have to go to everything. So make sure you are not trying to attend everything. It's okay if you RSVP with no, that you can't attend. All right. People are still going to love you regardless. So stop trying to people please people and go to every event that is coming up in May because it is a lot of things. All right. So it's okay to tell people no. And remember that your peace is more important. So having that peace of mind, having a peace of mind in your financial budget is also very important as well. So just keep that in mind because sometimes you out here spending money on folks who wouldn't even do the same for you. Okay. They wouldn't go half on a meal with you if y'all went out to eat. Okay. They're not splitting the check. All right. They're not doing that. So think about who you want to celebrate and how you want to celebrate them. And just know, is this person an important person in my life? Hopefully everybody means something to you. So I'm not going to say, do they mean something to you, but make sure they are important and not just some randomness that you're attending. Okay. So if it's like something important, like your niece's or nephew's graduation, yeah, you probably want to attend that. Okay. So the things that are important to you. Now, if it's your second cousin from a second marriage and all that kind of stuff, and they're having a party, maybe depending on how close y'all are. So start putting people in the appropriate categories. But if it's just something random, you probably don't need to attend. All right. If y'all not even cool like that. All right. And here's the other thing. If they didn't really send you an invite to the party, like you heard about the party from somebody else or somebody put it in like the group chat, but you didn't get an official invitation to the event, chances are it don't matter if you miss it. Okay. All right. If they didn't think enough to send you an actual invite or care enough to send an actual invite, they probably will be okay if you didn't attend the event. All right. So that was the second thing. The third thing I want you to do when it comes to trying to budget for May is I want you to give yourself a cash limit for these events. All right. So if you're like, for the rest of May, my budget is $100 for all the events, all the remaining events that are coming up in May, then stick to that budget. And once it's gone, it's gone. Okay. So stick to the budget for the rest of May. And that includes if you're going to a cookout, if you're going to a graduation, if you're going to a graduation party. If $100 is your budget for the month of May, stick to it because you don't want to be out here just swiping and spending because you in your feelings about different things. Okay. So if there's 3 events left, then that's only about $33 for each event. And make sure you're factoring in gas and things of that nature. Because if you're having to travel to these events, that's something that we sometimes will overlook when it comes to our budget. The travel and the food, depending on how far you have to travel to get there. Okay. So create a budget for these last few events that you have going on in May and set your limit and stick to it. All right. The fourth thing I have when it comes to helping you stay on track with May and all the different celebrations is I want you to get creative with your gift giving. Now, what does that mean? So you might have to just send them a letter, a nice little card, make them something off. If you can cook or if you can bake them something nice. If you are pretty handy or crafty, you can craft them something or make them something made from the heart, okay? Or you can even offer time to help. So if you know that they are going away to school or going away to college and things of that nature, you might can offer like, hey, I'll help you with move-in day or something like that. Something like that, okay? Instead of a monetary gift. So get creative with your gift giving, because just because it's not in the budget, that doesn't mean you can't still show love. There are ways to show love in other ways. There are ways to get support in other ways. So get creative with your gift giving, all right? And keep in mind, going back to point number 2, everybody doesn't need that expensive gift, that $50 gift with with the balloons and the flowers and all that kind of stuff. Everybody doesn't need that for their gift, especially depending on how important or how significant they are to you. So if they're not somebody of importance or really really close to you, think of other creative ways that you can give gifts. All right. And some ideas, like I said, you can give them a card, write them a letter, bake something, make something for them, or offer to help them in some kind of way. All right. Saying, this is what I have. I still love you. And this is the way I'm showing my love to you. Okay. And if it comes from the heart, that is all that matters. All right. So the fifth thing to help us get our finances in order with all the mayhem with graduations and prom and all these different parties and the Memorial Day cookouts is I want you to use what you got. Because this is another thing. All these different events that we're going to or trying to go to, another thing we don't always budget for is we want to look nice. We want to look cute. We want to look fly. And then we want to get a new outfit. Use what you got. See what's already in your closet before you go out there spending money trying to impress some people at the graduation party or at the cookout or something like that. Go ahead, shop your closet, see what's in there, and use that before you start spending money on outfits to go to these various things, because that's also where you can blow your budget on. You might be like, okay, I got the gift. I don't have to travel too far or anything like that. But then you're like, what am I going to wear? And next thing you know, because it's for you, you're out there shopping and spending money on something cute, or you're like, I don't have no shoes to go with this, and now you're spending money on some shoes or a bag or something like that. So use what you got, especially before you put it in your shopping cart and hit buy now. Check your closet, check your garage, check your storage, check all the different things, because you might already have what you need. And you can do the same thing when it comes to gifts. Check that closet and see what you got left over from Christmas that you didn't give, or somebody gave you that you really didn't want or you didn't really like or something like that, and see how you can re-gift it, okay? And use it for a graduation gift or something like that, all right? So, and if you wore something, last season or last summer or something, girl, ain't nobody gonna remember. Put that thing back on. Ain't nobody checking your clothes like that. So reuse some stuff, dress it up with some accessories that you already have, and you can make it look like a whole brand new outfit. All right. So check your stash, see what you got when it comes to clothes for you putting on an outfit or having an outfit to wear to these various events, and check your closet for various gifts that you might have to be able to re-gift these things as possible graduation gifts. Okay. And yeah, just you might be surprised at the things that you find in your closet. All right. So that is what we're going to be doing to kind of reframe my budget for May. Y'all let me know if this is helpful, if this is hitting home for y'all. Um, if your budget is also in like recovery mode, like mine is, because my budget has definitely taken a hit with all the things coming up in May. So, with that being said, the second half of the tips that I'm going to share with you is how we can recover gracefully now that our budget has taken a hit. So the first thing we want to do, so this is tip number 6, is we're going to stop the bleeding. And what I mean by that is you're going to cut any unnecessary spending today. And what I mean by unnecessary spending, because you've already overspent, like if you like me, I already overspent for May as it is. So I am not probably going out to eat like I want to, or I'm not buying random stuff or doing DoorDash or Uber Eats and things of that nature. I'm really going to stick to my budget. So you have to stop the bleeding, okay? Because if your money is looking funny, if you looking at your bank account and you squinting like, ooh, who did this? And then you realize it was you who did this, like, ooh, my money looking a little strange. If you're doing that to your bank account, you got to just check your spending and adjust your habits for May. In June, okay, is a new slate, okay, and you can go a little bit harder or go hard again. But for May, we just need to clean it up so that we're not overspending on things for ourselves, okay? Because sometimes what will happen is we'll be scrolling and we'll see something, or we might be bored, and then we add something to our cart, something we don't really need, because we didn't need it. If we didn't see it, we wouldn't want it. It's something that we want. So make sure you're not just randomly spending the rest of this month because you're bored or something like that, or it just popped up in your feed and now you're like, oh, that looks like something I would want, okay? Because we have to get better control of our finances. All right, so stop the bleeding, cut the unnecessary spending. Tip number 7 is do a mini money cleanse. Now last month we did the no spend challenge. Y'all, I might have to revisit this, okay? I might have to revisit this. Definitely, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it in May just because of all the different things I have coming up, but I might have to revisit this in June, where for 7 days I'm gonna have to be focused and not spend again. So y'all might be hearing from me again about doing another no spend challenge just because of the way things have been going in May. And if you are not familiar with the no spend challenge, is basically you challenge yourself not to spend money on unnecessary things for 7 days, or I usually do it for a week. You can do it for a day, you can do it for a weekend. People have done it for a month. Some people have do it even for a whole year. Okay, so you just pick whatever you want to challenge yourself to do. So if you know you have a weekend coming up where you might be overindulgent or in things of that nature, you might want to do a no spend weekend. Okay, so anything that is not a absolute expense, like I will still spend, like if my mortgage is due during the time I'm doing the no spend week, I'll still spend on that. I'll spend on that, and like my utility bills and stuff, I will still spend on that. But like groceries, if I have to get groceries, I make sure that it's taken care of before my no spend week. Same thing with gas. I try to make sure I have my car filled up so I'm not just going unnecessary places, or if someone wants me to go out and do something, I'm not just wasting gas and burning gas because I have the gas in my tank and then I have to fill up later. So do a mini money cleanse to help you clean up your finances for May, if you're trying to recover from some of the financial hits that have taken, and no spend challenge or spending freeze or spending fast, that could be one of the ways that you can do it. Okay. All right. So, and usually with the no spend challenge too, it is challenging for me because I got to make sure that I'm not going out to eat, especially when I'm at work, like for lunch and stuff, and making sure like I'm packing my lunch. So it is a challenge. You want to challenge yourself when you're doing it. Okay. So that was tip number 7. Tip number 8 is try to make some extra money. Y'all know I love talking to y'all about side hustles, and I love doing, well, I won't say I love doing various side hustles, but I love doing the side hustles that I do. So see what kind of side hustle you might be able to pick up and make an extra coin to help supplement your finances for June, July, and August. Because I know you want to be outside for the summer, but but if you've already messed up your budget for May, you want to see how you can make some extra money. Now, an easy thing or easy way to make some money is if you post some of your clothes on those selling sites. Like if you got something in your closet that you have not been wearing, or as you're going through your closet and you stumble upon some different outfits, go ahead and post them on some of those sites. You'll be surprised at the money you may be able to generate. Because I was really surprised. I usually use the site Macari. I haven't used it in a while, but I remember when I first used it, like literally I had a sale the next day of something. Like I posted something the night before, and by the next morning I had a sale on what I had posted. And so it generated a decent amount of money for the time that I was doing it. So I'm going to revisit that, because there are plenty of things that I probably have in my closet that I can post up there and make some money on. And also, like I said, May is like prom season and stuff. So if you know your daughter is not, or daughter or son, depending on how y'all got it, is not using that prom dress, that prom outfit anymore, see about posting it on the various sites and getting some of your money back for it, or selling it and things of that nature, so you can get some money back. And see anything else you might have laying around the house that you can sell and make some extra money. But look into a side hustle. I told y'all at the top of the year, y'all need to look into getting a side hustle or getting an extra source of income. I always say one source of income is too close to zero. The way things have been changing with people being laid off, also with prices increasing, inflation, different things going on. Like everything has been a little bit uncertain. So you want to make sure that you also have ways that you can make some extra money. All right. So I want you to check your closet, see what you got in there, because chances are, especially for some of us females, you might have some handbags that cost more than what's in your bank account right now. So if your bank account is looking funny, go ahead and see about selling that handbag. And same thing for the fellas and for the females. If you got some shoes that you know are nice and you're not going to really wear them, see what you can sell, because you might make some money that way. All right. Now, tip number 9 that I have is I want you to start automating whatever you can, because these bills be out here, and this has happened to me. These bills be popping up like surprise guests, and I'll be like, oh, dang, where did this come from? I forgot about that bill, because now you spent money buying various graduation gifts, different gifts, Mother's Day gifts, all that kind of stuff. And next thing you know, that little bill comes around, a different, like a recurring bill, and you're like, oh my gosh, I forgot that bill was going to be due. So set stuff up on automatic payment so that you don't have any surprises when it comes to your finances. Most of my stuff is automated, but every now and then, like different subscriptions that come out like once a year, they'll hit my account, and I'll be like, where did this come from? And usually too, in that same vein, usually these are probably some of these random bills that you're not expecting. They're probably to stuff that you probably need to cancel, or that you thought was canceled. And that's why you're getting that surprise bill. All right. So check your subscriptions and see what subscriptions you might need to cancel before they come out of your account, because you don't want to be overdrafted on something that you weren't expecting. And now you trying to, pay your regular bills like your rent or utility, but your account is already overdrafted because of these random little bills that pop up. So automate what you can so that there aren't any surprises. And if there are any surprise bills, check and see where they're coming from. Make sure they're not subscriptions that you possibly need to cancel. All right. So that was all I had for recovering. But the last and final tip not quite, I have a little bonus one for you too. But the last tip, this is going to help us get prepared for next year so that May does not present us with surprises. So I don't know, I guess this may really hit me hard because it's my daughter's graduation, it's her birthday month, it's Mother's Day. I mean, Mother's Day is always in May. Memorial Day, it's just a lot. And I don't know, it was just a lot this month. But I don't want any surprises, any surprises next year when it comes to May. But May this year has been a whole ordeal. So what I suggest you do, and what I'm going to be doing as well, is I am going to set aside a fund, a May fund, starting next month in June, where I set aside a certain amount of money each month to help fund May. Because if you think about it, in May, there's always going to be graduations. There's always going to be Mother's Day. There's going to be the Memorial Day cookout. So if you have anyone in your family or amongst your friends who are going to be graduating, you know you're probably going to give them a gift. So go ahead and set up an account where you're already putting money aside. So when May rolls around, you'll have money already built up to give out to the graduates who are going to be having parties and different celebrations during the month of May. Also, you know you're going to do something nice for your mama if you're blessed enough to still have your mom around or someone in your life who is a mother figure. You know you're going to try and do something nice for them. So go ahead and set up that May account, and that way you already have money and you already have funds set aside to do something nice and do something special for them in the month of May. So set a May fund. And even if you only can set aside $20 a month, y'all, even with $20 a month, that is what, $240 that you would have in the account for next year for you to be able to spend for graduation gifts. And so even if our graduation gifts or Mother's Day stuff, so even if there's only one person who is graduating or something like that, or you only have to get a gift for one person for Mother's Day, that's a good amount of money to be able to use to spend on somebody. And it's just $20 a month that you're setting aside starting in June that you'll have when May rolls around and you're not surprised. Okay. And that way you're stress free. You don't feel tight about giving to somebody, or you don't feel, stressed out about giving to somebody, because it's like you want to give, but it's like, oh, I got to look at my budget and stuff like that. So this is a way so that you be able to give stress free. And that's kind of what we're talking about too, as we're doing our different money affirmations. We want to make smart money decisions, and that's why we're saying our affirmations as well. Okay. All right. And then the last bonus tip is a little bonus tip that I have for you. That is, make sure you're keeping a calendar of the various celebrations that occur throughout the year, so that these things do not take you by surprise. So I want you to start looking at the things that are coming up in the calendar from month to month. Okay. Everybody focuses on December because of Christmas. Like everybody knows it's going to be big in December because Christmas is rolling around. We also think about November because of Thanksgiving, and a lot of us are traveling. But let's start looking at each month and seeing what comes up, seeing what holidays are there in the month. And I think May gets overlooked because of graduation season. And every year you might not have somebody that you're close to that's graduating, but when it happens, it can really throw you for a loop when it comes to your finances. So start taking those things into consideration for the various months. Also for June is Father's Day. It's celebrated in that month, but also a lot of us start doing the traveling. The kids get out of school, so then you're spending more money trying to feed them and doing various things. So if you keep a calendar of the different celebrations or the events and holidays that are coming up throughout the year, that will help you better prepare your finances to know what to expect, what you might need to budget for, so that you do have enough money in your budget. Okay. So, only thing I ask for you to do today is don't let May ruin your budget. If it already has, then go ahead, like I suggested earlier, write down what else is coming up in May that you need to account for. Go ahead and set a budget for that, so that and stick to the budget, because it don't mean anything if you say, well, all I'm going to spend is $200 and then you blow it by spending $500. It don't mean anything if you set a budget but you don't stick to it. Now also think of it realistically, because if you set a budget for, I don't know, $200, but you can only really afford something that's like $50, don't do that, because you'll still go in the hole trying to accomplish getting gifts for people that amount to like $200 when really all you have is $50. And that's where some of the other tip comes in. Is like, start getting creative when it comes to your gift giving. See what you can make for them. See what services you might be able to offer to them instead of actually giving them a physical gift. Or see what you might have hidden in your closet, your garage, your attic that would still serve as a good gift for someone. All right. So that is all I had, y'all, for today. Let me make sure, y'all, hold on. Let me see, because I wasn't even checking. I'm checking to see. I don't have any comments, but let me know in the chat which tip resonated with you, or which tip that you are going to use. And also put in the chat, I'm choosing peace over pressure this May. So I'm going to put that in the chat right now. I'm choosing peace over pressure this May, because May is not going to drive me crazy, even though it is a lot going on in May. All right. And also be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video with someone, and make sure you tune in on tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. I'm going live with a new money affirmation all the way until May 21st, because we are doing 21 money affirmations. All right. And I'll also be live again on Thursday evening as well. So be on the lookout for that. All right, guys. Thanks so much. And I hope y'all enjoy the rest of your night. Take care, everyone.